Hey guys, it is Miss DeCluche and I hope you all had a lovely weekend. We are in week 2 of the 2021 semester. This week we are going to be starting or introducing ourselves to Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is a play by William Shakespeare. I'm sure many of you are at least familiar with the idea of Romeo and Juliet. It's something that's alluded to a lot in pop culture. Taylor Swift has that whole song, I think it's called Love Song or Love Story, all about Romeo and Juliet. So even if you're not familiar with the whole story, you have an idea of what it is. So to start this week, you're going to just do a quick introduction activity, and it's kind of more of a New Year's introduction activity where you're going to read a poem entitled Ring Out Wild Bells, which is a poem in a collection called In Memoriam by Alfred Lord Tennyson. In Memoriam is a collection of 133 poems that Alfred Lord Tennyson wrote after the death of his friend Arthur Hallam. This is just one of the 133 poems in the collection. It kind of just represents new life and new beginnings as he's mourning the loss of his friend, and I think it's just kind of a nice New Year's poem as well. He talks a lot about like ringing out all the bad things that happened in the year past and ringing in all these new good things. So read that poem, and then in this discussion kind of talk about your own resolutions or goals for the new year. My goal is to just practice more mindfulness and to take time to do things that I enjoy. I love reading, but I am notorious for picking up a book, starting it, setting it down, and then a few days later I might pick up a new book because I forgot I picked up the previous book. And I currently have like 5 books that I'm reading. None of them are anywhere close to being done. So taking those few moments for myself to read, because I love reading and enjoy reading, but I would actually like to read a book and finish it and then move on to the next. Being this scattered is not usually my go-to. I like to read one book and finish it and move on to the next, and I don't know how I got into this pattern of kind of reading 5 books at the same time. So to just streamline that more and to practice some more mindfulness and to take those few moments for myself. After that, you're going to do a love opinionaire. This is like an anticipation guide where you're just going to answer these questions if you agree or disagree with them. You're going to tell me why. You'll submit that. Then you're going to look at a PowerPoint on the history. Before you do that, you're going to look at some drama terminology and some terminology you'll need for Romeo and Juliet. Then you'll look at a PowerPoint that talks about the history of Shakespeare. I know some people think Shakespeare may be overdone. I like Shakespeare a lot. I think he's great. He did a lot of great things for writing and literature, and I think that's why he's so famous. He famously wrote an iambic pentameter consistently, and we have to give him credit just for doing that, because that's a feat all on its own. He also famously made up words to fit his iambic pentameter. He'd be writing and realized the word he maybe wanted to use didn't fit into it, and so he would just make up one and it fit into iambic pentameter, and that's what he has. So go ahead and do the drama terminology, then the Romeo and Juliet terms, and then look at that PowerPoint on Shakespeare. After you've reviewed those and you feel comfortable with that, you're going to take a quiz on those things. So again, the quiz is going to have the drama terminology, the Romeo and Juliet terminology, and then the Shakespeare history notes as well. So make sure you've reviewed those things and you're ready to take the quiz before you take the quiz. After that, you're going to look at the prologue to Romeo and Juliet. A prologue comes at the beginning of a story, an epilogue comes at the end. And in the prologue, it kind of introduces the story and kind of introduces what's going to happen in the story. Kind of gives some spoilers as well. So read the prologue and kind of analyze it, annotate it. And you're also going to work to translate the prologue. I would really love for you not to use something like No Fear Shakespeare or an online translation of Romeo and Juliet. This is just your translation. I understand we have all these great translations available to us, but try to do it on your own just for this assignment. I understand you may use it later, but again, do it on your own for this assignment. If you can learn how to translate Shakespeare, it makes reading Shakespeare a lot easier, and it really just takes some time and some patience and for you to slow down your reading and to pick up on things you know and then use context clues to figure out the things you don't know. So don't use a translator for this. Please just do it on your own and do your best. And that kind of wraps up this week. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on It's Learning. I'm always happy to answer questions. I'm here to help you out. I know Romeo and Juliet's a little tough. We will make it through. I look forward to seeing you guys soon and hearing from you guys soon, and I hope you have a lovely week. Bye.